Yeah. I need your love and affection. Yeah. Off the drugs, we expressions of the love that we had. Cause it's all a reflection. Yeah. I'm in the car with my best friend, looking at the stars, teaching lessons, looking at the fall like it's blessings, looking at it all like it's blessings. But believe I ain't leaving. We just breathe through the seasons. Took relief from your reasons. Woke up to see who I'm being. If you need me, I'll peep it up. And when you heat it, I'm freezing up. In my sheets, where you dreaming? You gon' make me beat all your demons.
I mean like, shawty do the most, she like, everything got too close, me like, we never went close, me on go.
Yeah, she got me like, shawty do the most, she like, we didn't got too close, me like, we never went close, me on go. Yeah. Her spirit keep me freer. I probably do need her. I might really keep her. Shorty been a keeper. Things been getting deeper. And I'm trying to reach her. Not something like a preacher, but something like a teacher, showing her that they can't be her. And I need her in my life, more than just a wife. Someone who gon' ride, be there every night. Someone on my side, not just tryna fight.
I mean like, shawty do the most, she like, everything got too close, me like, we never went close, me on go.
Yeah, she got me like, shawty do the most, she like, we didn't got too close, me like, we never went close, me on go. Yeah.
They can have you upside down, cause I'm not dipping. When I told you we for life, I wasn't playing. Boy, you really snanked me twice, and I'm still staying. Shit gon' happen in this life, I'm not complaining. But this love we got is real, we not explaining. These niggas different, they say that they be dumb, but always switching. And these bitches want my style, they be tripping. Fuck them bitches, they ain't letting up on my position. They can have you upside down, cause I'm not dipping. When I told you we for life, I wasn't playing. Boy, you really snanked me twice, and I'm still staying. Shit gon' happen in this life, I'm not complaining. But this love we got is real, we not explaining. Boy, I'm never gonna leave you. All these other niggas really see through, I need you. All these other bros wanna mistreat you. I don't friend nobody cause they bleed you. Bitch, straight about a nigga, I ain't worried cause I see you when I see you. He be like too many bitches wanna be you. Fuck them other bitches, where you at, I wanna see you. Where you at, I wanna see you. Boy, I need you. Yeah, 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 yeah. And these bitches want my style, they be tripping. Fuck them bitches, they ain't letting up on my position. They can have you upside down, cause I'm not dipping. When I told you we for life, I wasn't playing. Boy, you really snanked me twice, and I'm still staying. Shit gon' happen in this life, I'm not complaining. But this love we got is real, we not explaining.
And I've been fucking up your money, you been going crazy lately. I've been chilling, I promise I really want this, baby. Promise that I love you, I got you, and now you stunting, baby. Love when we fucking all night, and we be trading places. You mad at me, you let us say that they applying pressure. But I don't ever really trip, cause I apply it better. And you too low, you ain't real, and plus I really trust you. Every time we ever fall in love, we always come together. Yeah, and I'ma ride, I'll ride. Ever play with her, see I'ma slide, I'ma slide. If I ever catch him like that's a homicide. Don't play with my feelings, I'm gon' demon time. Yeah.
Always switching, and these bitches want my style, they be tripping. Fuck them bitches, say you're letting up on my position. They can have you upside down, cause I'm not dipping. When I told you we for life, I wasn't playing. Boy, you really snaked me twice, and I'm still staying. Shit gon' happen in this life, I'm not complaining. But this love we got is real, we not explaining. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Baby, can I explore your latest? Not lose control of our heart, babe. We can do it. Attached, baby, no strings. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. It's wonderful. Wanna get you in the mood. Wonderful. Pleasing you. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You're interesting. You're amazing. Now that you're here, now that we're here, got it all spread. You on the bed, grab you by your hair. Know you like it, yeah. Got me singing, oh, got me singing. Baby, you tell me you want it slow, slow. Diamonds so deep, deep. You on top of me, top of me. You see the time has come inside me. Oh, 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 baby. Oh, baby. What you doing it for? Wanna get you in the mood. Wonderful. Pleasing you. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You're interesting. You're amazing.
Take you on tonight. Will that take you by surprise? Boy, just tell me how you like it. I want you, I can't deny it. I only want you with nobody but you, man, I really want to show you with nobody but you what I really can do. And it's only for body calling for. I only want you with nobody but you, man, I really want to show you with nobody but you what I really can do. And it's only for body calling for.
My bedroom. Who is he?
All right. What you got for me? Relationship talk. Let me see. I can't see. Relationship talk with G's.
How are you?
I almost read that as G Easy.
Everything about keeping your relationship private is important. Keeping it out of the public's eye.
Yeah.
Once it goes to the public's eye, no matter how it came
I
to the
think I
public's
want
eye,
you, girl. I ain't
you
gonna
then
lie.
become a target.
Do what you want to, girl. Don't be so shy.
Let's be
I hit the
realistic.
blunt,
A man understands that, and they understand that they're going to deal with a woman that they can afford. They're not going to reach for somebody that they can't afford.
Do what you want to, girl. Don't be so shy.
So let's stop the bullshit.
I hit the blunt too, girl. Let's go get high. Let's go get high. Let's go get high. Yeah. Let me get high with me. Look at the sky with me. You said you would try with me, and you surprising me.
You get what I'm saying? But you're missing the point.
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
The point is, if you let me finish what I say.
There's no need to fight with me. Ain't no need to cry with me. It won't be goodbyes for me. You keep getting high with me, just like I'ma ride for you. I know you the type for me. Yeah, I know you the type for me. Keep on that life for me. I'ma need you in my sight for me. Cause that's what I like to see. Live up to that height for me. Then you'll be your flash with me. Yeah, I think I want you, girl. I ain't gon' lie. Do what you want to, girl. Don't be so shy. I hit the blunt too, girl. Let's go get high. Let's go get high. Let's go get high. I think I want you, girl. I ain't gon' lie. Do what you want to, girl. Don't be so shy. I hit the blunt too, girl. Let's go get high. Let's go get high. Let's go get high. Do you love me like you say you love me? Or is it just when you high and when you sippin' bubbly? I know all these shorties on it make it hard to trust me, but I'm thinking to myself like how you just so lovely. You so selfless with yourself, you put no one above me. Always keep that business to yourself and never rush me. I was thinking like I couldn't let no shorty cuff me, but I'm copping you with locking you like it's a must thing. I hope you got my back. Yeah.
Pause. So, I'm glad I caught that. Mic was off. Welcome to Relationship Talk with G's, where our conversations aim to keep you pleased. I'm your boy A1G's. You're now welcome to the Guru's house. Take your shoes off when entering. And I hope you enjoyed your weekend. It is Monday, first night of the week. Starting off a little late, but shit happens, And with me doing this more, I got to get into a rhythm of being punctual. But, I was really busy today. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a show tomorrow. But you know what? Nah, I'm going to do a show tonight. And tomorrow. And Thursday. That's our schedule now. Monday, Thursday, Friday. No, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That's our schedule. So, give me a minute here. Send this to a couple people. And while I'm doing that, make sure you do the following as well. That's right. So, tonight's topic, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Share this live to somebody that you feel like will be compelled to watch this. I am in no point going to hold back anybody that wants to go live. I do want to do a brief monologue so you understand my topic tonight. The topic is called, Sometimes You Have to Blame Yourself Because You Knew. Okay. Yeah, we're going to stop there. Sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. You knew already. Okay? Sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. And what am I talking about? Before you find out what I'm talking about, I want y'all to share this live to a couple people. Share this live to a couple people. Because we got something cool to talk about tonight. We got something cool to talk about tonight. And I want y'all to hear about it. I want y'all to hear this topic because this is important.
I need your love and affection.
But anyway, sometimes, right to the monologue, sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. You knew what? What am I talking about here? And feel free at any given time if you want to tap in, join the live. But just some requirements. If you're going to tap into the live, request Instagram. This is the Instagram live tonight. If you're going to request, I got two rules. If I don't know who you are, you must cam up. If you are calling into the show for the first time, you must cam up. If you don't cam up, please don't even hit the request button. If you don't cam up, I'm just going to knock you back off. Stay in stay in the audience, stay in the congregation. But if you're going to come to the pulpit, the doors to the church are open. The doors to the church are open. Everyone is welcome to the Guru's house rent free. But if you're going to come up here, you must cam up. This is to prevent any kind of trolls coming through. Chad Wilson says, is the movie Hitch a good piece of advice for dealing with dating? I don't know. You tell me. You have to look it up. But anyway, sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. What did we know about? You know yourself and you know how you operate. And it's very important for you to understand, if you don't if you don't understand yourself, how can you ever understand people? If you don't understand yourself, how can you understand your partner? Sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. You blame you pointing the finger towards your partner that you broke up with, saying that that he didn't listen, or he always argumentative, or she's this or she's that. You knew because you chose to stay with him. Oh shit. You knew because you chose to stay with him. You knew because you chose to stay with her. See, one thing about self-awareness is sexy. Okay? And if you don't understand that knowing yourself is the most important thing to do, understand that you don't need to know anybody else. You get so upset saying that so many people pour into you. You get upset saying so many people pour into you. No, that you pour into so many people, scratch, that you pour into people and they don't pour into you. But you knew that already, and you continue to keep doing it. You get so upset when you say people use you. But you knew that because you keep continuing to allow them in your circle. You get so upset, ladies, when you say that man ain't shit, or that all men ain't shit. But you knew that because of the kind of men that you were choosing. You knew that. And you know this as well. Relationship is like a mirror. Date the mirror and blame the reflection because you picked them. Every day that you choose to stay with that person, the only person you could blame is yourself. Because the more you stay with them, the more you know how this person is. The more you know, you better know how you are. Because you validate that every day you choose to stay with that person. Obviously, that person is not that much of a problem if you choose to stay with him.
Awkward. Awesome.
You know that. Every day you choose to stay with that person. You knowing now turns into blame yourself because you knew. Right? See, the thing about self-awareness, there are a lot of people that are not self-aware. There are a lot of people that are not self-aware, yet they have the audacity to step out here and demand people to be aware of their existence. There are a lot of people out here that have the audacity to be aware, to want people to be aware of their existence. And you're not putting in the work yourself. Sometimes you have to blame yourself because you already knew. How you doing, Jay? Mr. Goodbiz, how are you? If you're watching me from YouTube, drop a quick hello so I know who's in the house tonight. But sometimes you have to blame yourself because you already knew. You already knew that chick that you were talking to. You already knew she was a 304. You already knew she was a 304, but you chose to stay with her. Not only did you choose to stay with her, you started her in a DM. 304 is let's look at the definition of 304 so you understand. Urban Dictionary, so you understand what a 304 is. Okay? Let's look up the 304. Okay? 304, this is way Urban Dictionary says this is a way you can call a thought without actually calling her a thought. They use it as a 304 code. There's all kinds of ways to describe a 304. It doesn't necessarily just describe thought. Okay? You could have some type of women who are not a thought, okay, but they have unrealistic standards. That's a 304, right? So you can have a chick that wants a man. They have the 666 requirement. I call it 6606. They say he must be. They must be. I'm going to explain it right now. 666, 304 is also somebody. They don't have to be a thought. They could be as regular homebody as a traditional woman, but it doesn't make them traditional by their standards. They go by the 666 requirement. He must be 6 inches tall, 6 feet tall. He must be making 6 figures or more. He must be 6 inches or longer. Pause. Pause. Okay? That's a 304. Somebody that has unrealistic standards. Let's go into the income part of it. They want a man that's making a whole bunch of money. And a woman who doesn't respect a man that's in process. That's a 304. But they want to meet him when he's at the finish line. That's a 304. Doesn't mean that you're a hoe. Doesn't mean that you're a thought. You could be a really nice woman who just won't deal with a middle class person. So when you want something that's in the top 10% of availability, that's a 304. Mr. Goodbest says less than 13% of men in America made $100K a year or more. You're right, but let's zoom in on that a little bit. 10% or less makes $100K or more, and that's not even pertaining to a specific race. Now, if you want to pertain to a specific race, let's say black men, right? Now that's in the top 1%. That's in the top 3%. And then if you want him to be a certain height, now that's under 1%. Mr. Goodbest says, in the black community, there's less than 1% spread out over 50 states. That's right. So unrealistic standards can also classify you as a 304. Okay, but when this is not the target towards women. This is not the target towards a specific gender. We're talking in period, because men, there is a problem on the men's end too. The fact that you allow this because you knew who you were dealing with. You knew who you were dealing with. And you presented yourself as that kind of man. You presented yourself as that kind of man who had money and didn't decide to come as yourself. So now, when it's time for you to actually spend that money that you never had, catfish, motherfucker. I don't like that. That thing is so long. Pause. You get what I'm saying? Understanding ourselves and what we want and our standards really determines the type of people we involve ourselves around with. Whether it's your friends, whether it's the certain type of people that you are around in the workplace, okay? Those homies that are in your circle, you said they ain't never want me to succeed, but you knew. And sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. Why are you still around them? Or is it the other way around? Is it the other way around? Are you that type of person that you're very successful? You're on the right path, but then you still are hanging around people that are also trying to get on the right path, but you a hater and you don't want them to succeed? And you want to hold them back because they got an edge over you. They're actually working just like 2 steps harder than you. And you wonder why, per your karma, why you haven't gotten as far as they have, because you're not worried about your own purpose. You're worried about competing against them when everybody should be working together. Life is not about you. Life is about people. And sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew. You knew this, man. You know what they said, and you know this, man. And if you don't know, now you know. Nigga. If you don't know, now you know. But guess what? You already knew. That's why you have to blame yourself. Life is not involved around self, but it is important for you to understand yourself so you can adapt to people. You can't even raise a family if you don't understand yourself. You can have one. Just because they're present doesn't make you a good mother or father. It just means you're their biological parent. Shots fired. Shots fired. I'm going to say that again. I said it. Just because you are... Let me tell you something. Some children were adopted. They were put in a far better position than what they would have if it was their biological mother. You get what I'm saying? So you embrace what you have and be grateful that you were given the opportunity, because it could have been nothing, right? Friends. This is the easiest thing to get rid of, but we fail to do so because we want to hold people around that don't want us to go. Why don't they want us to go? Because they don't have the ambition. They're lazy, and they want to be stuck on the block, right? Am I right or am I left? Am I right or am I left? If you agree with me, call into the show. This has something to do with every form of relationship. And understand that there are 5 forms of relationships. What are they? Family, friends, business, okay, your significant other, and most importantly, yourself. What is the topic tonight? What is the topic tonight? The topic tonight is sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew better. You knew better, but you chose to ignore the message.
Awesome.
So, hey, where's that going to get you? You know? And I'm going to ask you later on, well, how's that working for you, buddy? How's that working for you, buddy? So you go over there, and I'll be right over there. Okay?
Nah.
That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like you're bouncing off of the same pattern. Bouncing off of the same pattern. If you agree with me, or more so importantly, if you disagree with me, call into the show. Sometimes you have to blame yourself. You knew. Because accountability is like kryptonite. Accountability is like kryptonite. And 80% of the time, I want to say a strong 90 to be safe, you do not hold yourself accountable for your own actions. You always think about what they did and never consider what contribution you had to the cause. Even if you didn't do nothing, you still have a contribution to the cause. You're still there. Duh, dummy.
Bye-bye.
So sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew better. Sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew better. And this week we're going to be going into these two forms of relationships, business and friendship. That's going to be my focus this week. We're going to focus on business relationships. We're going to focus on friendship relationships, because before you don't just run into fellas, you don't just run into a girlfriend. Ladies, you don't just run into a dude and that fast. But even if you're separated from somebody for a week, your entire life, you've always had people around you. Who are those people? They may be your coworkers. They may be your friends. Might be your family, whatever case may be. But a girlfriend, ladies, your boyfriend is not something that you just run. They're not all around you. You can't just pick anybody. You can meet a bunch of people every single day and they become your friends or a strong acquaintance. But it's only that one true person that ends up being in a significant other type relationship with you. So before you could even dig into that, before you could even dig into being in a relationship with your significant other, you've always had friends around you, some kind of people. I don't care who it is. And if you can't read them, how you gonna read your significant other? Huh? You understand what I'm saying? How you gonna read your significant other? Tomorrow we're gonna dig into something a little deeper. This is just an introduction. This is just an introduction monologue as to what we're going to dig into this week. Okay, we're gonna talk about a lot of men versus women topics. We're going to dig into double standards. We're going to dig into all of that. But we can't, let me tell you something. I challenge anybody of any of the topics that I cover this week to actually prove me wrong. Because if you can't bring self-accountability into these debates and these topics that I'm talking about this week, you don't have a conversation with me because you already lost. Self-awareness is sexy, but accountability is like kryptonite. You just don't see it. Perfect example, right? Tomorrow I'm covering a topic that's going to be called, is basically is about men and women, as far as like who cheats more, right? The topic is basically called Men Cheat Less, Women Cheat More and Worse, right? Of course, I'm going to have some bloodthirsties coming here that's going to jump from the rip, be offended by that statement, and react in a negative, aggressive manner, right? But of course, you're not going to think about what I'm saying. You're just going to jump and react and respond because you didn't like how I presented the statement, how I presented that topic. That's you moving off of your emotions, not off of your logic. Because if you think about the message, and if you think about and not think about who's delivering it, just listen to the message, think about it, and then when you start to sit down and think, you're going to be like, he might have a point. But if you just jump and react to what I'm saying, sometimes you have to blame yourself because you knew that was you as well too. Shit. Am I right? If it don't apply, let it fly, right? But if you just jump and just react, you just proved that you were just part of that number. You just proved that you was part of that group that cheats more. And you only clarify yourself because you just, here's the thing. I don't want to get so deep into it right now, but I'm going to just shed a little light for right now what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I've heard for years women say, modern women say, that women cheat less. No, they said men cheat more. They would say men cheat more and women cheat less, or women cheat smarter. Well, if you cheat smarter, wouldn't that mean that you cheat more? It's like when you go to get tested, right? They say there's a higher percentage of women that have been confirmed to has this type of disease, right? More so than men. Why is that? Because there are a lot of men that, this is a fact, that actually didn't go to get tested. So now you don't become part of the statistics on who has more than what. So there could be a possibility that it's more men, more so men than women, but we don't know, right? But for years that they've been talking about as far as women cheating better, right? So that means they cheat more. And a new statistic has came out about that. But just want to shed some light. A couple things that we're going to talk about this week. We're gonna cover our regular significant others, but we're going to cover these different forms of relationships, your friendships and your business, because this is very important, because these are the fundamental developments that you need to have established in order to capitalize on you being the best version of yourself. You need to be grounded within yourself. You need to know what you want, or at least have an idea. You need to have a group of peers. And you need to have those a number of peers in your group that have the same like-minded goals, aspirations, and drive. And is going to build you, you build them, and somebody who can check you. But if you have those, if you don't have those kind of people in your group, they're taking from you. And every day that you still allow those type of people to be around, sometimes you have to blame yourself because you already knew what you were dealing with, but you choose to stay. All right. So that was my monologue for the night. Hope you enjoyed that little piece that I had there. Hope you enjoyed that little piece. I am going to go live officially back to our regular schedule tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to cover a very special topic. It's already posted on YouTube. This is going to be a YouTube live. We're going to work on getting the house packed. This video, of course, will be up here later for you to check out. I'm going to leave the YouTube version and I'm going to leave the Instagram version. So with that being said, appreciate y'all tapping in. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check your time zone. You already know what time it is. If you Central Time, right? It's 9 p.m. If you're Mountain Time, it's 8 p.m. If you're Pacific Time, it is 7 p.m. But on my time, on this side of time, we go live 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be this Tuesday and that'll be this Thursday. And we're going to work on getting the house packed. And we're going to have a good old conversation. If you need help with the on how to use the chat room on YouTube, like on Instagram, it works pretty much the same. And as far as you going live and all stuff like that, it pretty much works the same. With that being said, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow night. And we're going to get this show on the road. Everybody's welcome to the Guru's house, rent free. I'm your boy A1G's from Relationship Talk with G's. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Deuces. We are over and out. Holla at your boy.